Hi, I'm Sharon Blevins. Please join me as I welcome Allison Millet. Allison is an instructor and the owner of Bowling Green Backyard Bootcamp. She has 20 years of experience working with people from all walks of life, helping them and encouraging their fitness and their motivation to live the very best life that they can, socially, emotionally, and physically, of course, and with nutrition advice to go along with that. So she is treating the whole person in her approach, and she has some excellent information for all of us. She encouraged me so much. So please welcome Allison Millet. What advice do you have for those of us heading into the new year? I know that we typically we go, gangbusters on let's hit the gym, let's go to the boot camp, let's do it up. And then a few weeks in, you see, the tapering off and I can't do it, I'm sore, I'm tired. And
yeah.
Is that true? Is that what you're
saying? Oh, yeah. Again, I'm going to keep touching on this because it's just to hear you say where you are and how, you feel like it. I truly feel like I've got tears in my eyes right now because I do feel like it's a problem that I need to address. And so my normal is like, okay, we got to set goals. Yeah, we got to make them bite-sized pieces. And that's the old Allison that would say, come on, make that. Don't we love the Christmas season because it allows us to slow down. It allows us to recharge. It allows us to get our focus on our family or whatever. We look forward to anything that's going to give us that shift. So I think that's why we look forward. No, we don't look forward to Mondays, but we look at Mondays as a fresh start. We look at a new month as a fresh start, but we always look at a new year, most everybody, as, okay, I'm going to really do it this year. So to answer your question, how I'm talking to people about that now is truly just boil it down. What do you really like to do? And most people would say, not most, but many people do say, I really like to exercise. Okay, well, there has to be some type of movement that you enjoy. Do you like to dance? Do you like to just go for a walk with a girlfriend? Like, if we need a connection, a community more than ever right now, and vitamin D more than ever right now, then, and I just said this in my 830 class today, there are companies that are just outerwear companies. They do nothing but make coats. Get one of those coats that you have. It's for a reason. Put it on and get outside. We need the fresh air. So to go back to that, what do you enjoy doing? I'm not going to say sit and goal setting workshop, and I've done vision board workshops, all of that over the years. And it's great. It truly is great to say, okay, here I am. I'm going to carve out the time and I'm going to say, what do I really, really want? We need to do that. But what do you really like to do that's something you could really stick with? And if you say that I really like to spend more time with my mom, I'd really like to spend more time with my sister, with my cousin, with my girlfriend, my coworkers, whatever, then how could you do that and get fitness in at the same time? One of my favorite things to do, and I can get on a tangent, so you can just stop me anytime, is to say that when somebody says, hey, could we meet up for coffee? And I would do that, but now I'm like, what if we had our meeting about whatever it is, or just girl time or whatever, while we're walking around the park? And before you know it, oftentimes we stop at the car thinking we're done with our conversation, we're done with our walk, and we stand there for another 15 minutes. No, go on and get in another lap. Like, kill two birds with one stone. So as far as how to look at a new year, I really tell people, or what I'm really telling people now is like, let's look at what you enjoy doing, number one, and let's just do the simple things. The absolute simple things. That's getting in your water. And if you struggle with that, then you're like, here I am drinking my coffee just now at 10 o'clock. And the way I earn my coffee is I have to get in water before I can. It's a little game I play with myself. So set some things in motion. Do you drink coffee? Do you make coffee at your house? Okay. Do you have to say to yourself, come on now, Sharon, go and make that coffee? You don't have to do that. It's automatic. So if you we have to think and make decisions, a million of them a day. So if you can have these little rules that you don't even have to think of, we automatically brush our teeth, we automatically have our coffee, we automatically do whatever. So if you can have a rule that is, okay, well, there's my water glass sitting out next to the coffee pot. I'm going to have my water. I've done one good thing for myself. Now I get to have that coffee, which is not a bad thing. what you put in that coffee could be a bad thing. But
Yeah.
yeah, but then it's, so I don't always get in my healthy eating. So I'm pointing over here to my kitchen. I've got a container of organic green powder that when I see that sitting over there and I'm like, oh shoot, I had oatmeal for breakfast, I've had no greens, whatever, then I'll put that in some water and mix it up. There are hacks that you can just do in your life that are going to set you up for success. And they're just, don't even have to think about it. Of course, I'm going to tell you meal prep. Like if you can just have a plan for your meals, it's just as important as that exercise. So let me sum that up to answer your question. I can just get real excited about things like this, to just make it simple, make it what you enjoy, try to fit in community time with that, get a group of friends together to go for a walk or run or go dance or whatever. Make some little rules throughout your day. Say to yourself, all right, I want that pizza that we have every Friday night. Okay, well, have it, but know that on Friday at lunch, you really need to nourish your body. Let's look at nourishing instead of, oh, I should have those fruits and vegetables because they say so. Let's really look at taking good care of our bodies so we can have lots of years of living strong and healthy. Okay, next, I'm sorry. I just get really excited.
Time for me to eat what I have brought, and I planned it out and I thought through what my body needs, so I eat it, and every time I eat that kind of food I feel good.
Yes.
And that's a reward, but it comes after the choice. So I could see how if you don't plan ahead, you're kind of on the fly making a decision that may not be good for you in the long run. But
one of my biggest pet peeves is when people, for example, we went to Lexington this weekend. If we knew that we were going to be not at home for mealtime. So I've got one kiddo that really just does not need to eat out. Like we have him on a really strict diet, and not strict diet, I shouldn't say that. We fuel him well because we all need to be fueled well, but he especially. Well, I could have left and said, oh shoot, what are we going to do for Owen? No.
Yeah.
Before we left. Well, if I do that for him, why don't I do that for myself? We have things called coolers, just like we have things called outerwear that I was saying. We can pack our own food. It's not as fun or convenient, but it's those convenience things that get us into ruts that we just really don't need to be in. And we're leaving the nourishment of our bodies up to a fast food place, and they don't have our best interest in mind. So
yeah, they really don't. You're right. I go from one job often to another in the evening, and I have to bring my lunch, my snacks, and my dinner, and I eat it just before I begin teaching at the university. So I totally understand you. If I don't plan well, I do regret it. I miss those feel good fruits, vegetables, and things like that I have learned to really love over time. So.
And touching on that, you may not have had this as a question, but when people say I don't like fruits and vegetables, I'm like, then something's wrong. You're not enjoying them the right way. Dip that apple that you may say, I don't really like. Well, dip it in peanut butter if you must. Celery, same thing. Put some peanut butter on it and get some protein with that. But also, if you think you don't like vegetables, not you, but whoever, have you tried roasting them? Have you tried a different way than how your mom always made mushy squash? Like there are ways to enjoy fruits and vegetables. That would be a great New Year challenge, is to say, okay, well, I only like green beans. I challenge you to dig in and see if you can't, find a different way to make something, to prep it, cook it.
That's exactly right. So do you have some good suggestions for people who want to lose weight? That's typically what you're going to see. Is that right? We all need to lose a couple, at least some of us more, and we come in gangbusters ready to go for a weight loss trip.
Here's what you're not going to expect to hear from a fitness coach about that. We automatically think that I've got to lose weight. That just means I've got to just go work out for hours upon hours and just, kill myself. And I'm going to say you need some movement. Every day, you need some movement, just because our bodies are made to move. And if we don't move now, then we're not going to be moving through our years. And I don't want my one kid sitting over here, one kid's out there. I don't want them to have to help move me. I want to be moving with them. I want to have grandkids that can't keep up with me, and a long time from now. But move your body every day. I've already said make it fun if you can make that happen. A community group for most people to have something going on that they have to be there at a certain time, and their new fitness friends are saying, where were you? And you don't want to miss out on seeing Sharon at your class or Allison at your class, and a coach that's going to reach out to you and say, and this isn't just boot camp, this could be any type of group activity. Where were you? Pickleball is huge right now. Get in with a pickleball group. It doesn't have to be a class. It doesn't have to be a gym. So there's my movement component. But here's what I'm going to say. If there's weight loss that needs to be, if that's a goal, there is no pill that's going to do that, number one. God made our bodies to work, for the most part, well. If we don't go put water in our gas tank, right? We have to put the fuel our car needs in our gas tank. Why would we put all this stuff that's artificial and that didn't come from the earth? So I'm not a nutritionist or a dietitian, but I've learned in my own life that when we eat those nourishing foods, our bodies just really say, well, here you go. Let me rid that inflammation. Let me rid those swollen ankles. Let me help you've got limps. You've got these things that are supposed to detox us, right? So if we just fuel with the things that rot when they sit out in your kitchen. If you brought home a bag or box of salad greens, and left those sitting out, they're going to turn to mush. If you've seen it, just like I have, the McDonald's burger, it doesn't have to be McDonald's, whatever, I won't call out one, but fast food meal that sits out for years and nothing happens to it. What's that doing inside our bodies? So we've got our youngest son on a gut healing protocol, and I just met with her yesterday, and she said, we are I won't get into too much, but it was our small intestines and how everything's supposed to move through our bodies, and fiber and greens and all of that helps that process. So if you're not going to the bathroom like you need to be, what are you causing your body to have to work harder? And it's just in there saying, I don't know what to do with all this stuff. So to answer your question about weight loss, it's move your body, it's drink your water. And as much as that is just, we hear it until we just don't even want to do it because it's such a rule that we should follow, but it's really true. Yeah, you got it.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So drink your water. Half your body weight is a good, I know that when I was I was really shooting for a gallon a day. That's kind of lofty. But once you get your body, you don't live in the bathroom as often when your body is processing that day after day after day. So drink your water, and then really think about nourishing your body. Don't look at it as supposed to eat healthy. Why would you not want to pour in how your body works best? You do it for your vehicle. You do it for what, you feed your pets expensive pet food. Why would you not, take care of your body? So, and I don't have necessarily a rule for that, but I do like to say about 80-20. And when people hear that, they think, well, I do pretty good 80% of the time. But when you really log it out, are we really good 80% of the time? So again, that pizza example, we have pizza every Friday night. Well, then I know that's coming. I know what I'm going to have for dinner most nights. I know we're going to go out to eat to celebrate somebody's birthday. Well, then what can I do up here in breakfast? I can have a smoothie. I can, really think about nourishment through most of my day, so that when that not so nourishing food comes in, it will serve my body better to have had that nourishment. So try to 80-20, try to eat as nourishing as you can, water and movement that you enjoy. Not a pill.
For some reason, we have so much trouble with the motivation part, or consistency of motivation. And I know, in my line of work, we see motivation is naturally going to change throughout any task, especially a long-term one. And when you talk about health and fitness, it's more of a marathon of a lifetime.
It's a lifestyle.
Yes. So how do we keep our motivation in the range we need it to be to keep this perspective that you're talking about? I think I'm with you, but some of the folks I know
are just not there. They're looking for, how do I get to that point? And
that's the thing about life. We never, or I think for years I've been trying to, okay, when I get here, when this happens, we're always learning, we're always evolving. Motivation is gonna wax and wane. It's finding I truly think it's finding those hacks. Sharon, when it changed for me was when we had our youngest kiddo. He does have an autism diagnosis, and he has food sensitivities and allergies. And it was that, like, we ended up in the emergency room, over food. And so when I realized, wow, food really affects this kid, well, then it changed everything for all of us. And so I had to go to the grocery store for my sanity. I couldn't every single week say, what do I buy this week? This is on sale. Okay, I could get that. I needed to know, I have to have rules. This is the bread I buy. This is the spaghetti sauce I buy. This is the, and I had to just make life simple so that I can just buy those same things over and over again. So when you go, let me give you and your podcast listeners a tip. There's tons of free apps out there. Let one of those apps, let's go back to fitness, be driven by something that you've got to log data. We are just like children, like give me a sticker chart all day long to say, look, 10 days in a row, you moved your body for 30 minutes. So there are apps, MyFitnessPal, there's tons of apps you could use. But let's go to the food part. Fooducate, Fooducate, Fooducate. You can take your phone and you can scan a barcode, and it'll give you on your food, and it'll give your food with a barcode a grade. I always use Ritz crackers as an example. I honestly don't know but who doesn't love Ritz crackers? You scan that barcode and it'll give you probably a C or a D because of the ingredients in there. Then it tells you an alternative. So that's one little tip to use in how can you stick with something. You have to make it a lifestyle. Do I exercise every day? Nope. Do I exercise hard every day? No. Last night it was my family, which with our youngest, it's a slow go. Going around the park, looking up at the planets last night and the stars. It was movement. And so I try to weave that in to my family's lifestyle and make it a lifestyle by saying, okay, we've got a little extra wiggles going on, so let's go out and get moving. I'm in charge of cooking the meals, so this is what we're having for dinner tonight. Oh, if you got a picky kid, okay, then let them pick out the vegetable. We're going to cook it together. Let them be involved. So you've got to find hacks, again, in your motivation's never going to always be up. You've got to be committed to what's your main goal? And my main goal, Sharon, is, again, to be a grandma a long time from now that is, and not just that, just to be able to do what I want to do up until my golden years.
Yes.
So how can I get myself on track rather than saying, I want to weigh this much, or I want to fit in those jeans from high school? Let that go. Let's think movement for life and fitness for life. At least that's my goal.
I think you're on to something there. We do need to let go of the perfectionism that's gripped everybody and just strive for what's right for us. What's that healthy range? And what I heard you saying too was combining things that are really important, like the social aspect with the nutrition and of course with that movement. So, it would be ideal if we could have a nice quick walk to a healthy place and enjoy a friendship in the outside air and the vitamin D, and then walk home. That would be getting it all. So that social connection is what comes about in your boot camp, isn't it?
It is. I don't even think, like, sometimes they show up, and I used to be an elementary school teacher, and it's almost worse teaching adults. Yeah. Even this morning, I was like, y'all, like, I'm trying to give you the instructions for the workout. It's just, especially right now when we're not seeing as many people, we're less plugged in. These middle-aged people, like, I have to do that teacher clap to get them to listen to me, because there is something, Sharon, to group fitness. That's been my thing. That's what got me into what I do. I went to college, gained all of that freshman weight, I plugged in at the fitness center right there on campus, and I loved the music, the energy, the group, because when I would want to slack, like, don't we all do that? If you look at a workout that you got to do at home and it says do 50 burpees and 50 push-ups, but if you've got people over here and you've got a coach that's saying, come on, let's break that 50 up into a set of 10, and then let's come over here and do this, and just keeping you on track and keeping you, motivated. So having a group, again, if it's just walking with a friend, it is just so good to come together. And that is the beauty of boot camp, I think. I think that they love the workouts, but I think they really love the community that they find there.
Well, the people I know who have been to your classes, and I know from my experience, it is a lot of fun. And what you do is alternate different types of activities, like the ropes or the jumping and the ball back and forth, anything like that. It's just such a routine of change that you don't get bored, and your body becomes adjusted to lots of different types of actions.
And it should be that. Yeah, that's the thing too. If we could go back to me saying that about just going for a walk, that's good. Walking is great. But think about when if you walked in my garage right now, I've got 2 cars parked side by side, and I need to get in between. Well, I'm not going to turn probably and walk. I'm going to have to shimmy in between those cars. You're at the grocery store and somebody's got their cart. You're going to have to kind of shimmy to the right or to the left. We need movement in all kinds of directions.
Yes.
And it isn't all about lifting heavy weights always, but just to be able to get down in the floor. You know how many people say, I couldn't do your class because I can't get down on the floor like that. Yeah. Then I'm saying, wait, do you hear that?
Yes.
You're going to fall. You're going to drop your keys. You're going to, just like me, I just got the mail before I came in, dropped the lip. Like, I'm going to have to squat down at times. We need to be able to get down on the floor. My mom
That's a sign of health, isn't it?
It is. It is. I was with my mom, went and walked with her. She lives 30 minutes away, and I rarely ever just get time with just my mom. And I said, I'm going to go show up at her house. She walks every morning at 6 o'clock. I'm going to get up early. I'm going to go walk with my mom. What a gift that is, just to have that kind of time. But we talked the whole time about fitness and just about her being 75 and moving the way she does. And she said, well, you know what? Came to your house and Owen wanted me to sit on the floor with him, and it hurt to sit crisscross applesauce. Mm-hmm. And I came home, and I'm doing that every single day because that I need to be able to move like that or to sit like that and to be able to get down and get up. And she said, and the day that I found myself needing to sit down to put my pants on, that was the day that I said, oh, no. So she said, I go stand in the middle of the floor every day now to put my pants on, because think how we adjust to say, well, I'm getting older. No,
I'm holding on. Yeah.
Right. Challenge your balance. Don't accept that, I don't know how I got on this.
Yeah, that decline. Well, that's one of both of our interests, maybe because it's personal to us about middle age or aging. But that's what my heart's, set on, is trying to encourage people who hit that stage into not going to the easy route. Let's dive into what we need and nurture our bodies so they're healthy as we get to that older point. We're enjoying and being the great grandma or the great grandma and having fun until there's,
I want to just rock in a chair all day. I want to be out seeing the sights around me. I want to be able to prune my trees. I want to be able to, do the things in life that I want to do.
Well, I think your boot camp is a perfect solution for a lot of people in every stage of life. And I hope that you have a huge amount of people come and occupy your space. I know that you've had some nutrition advice, and I looked at your website, and it's so full of helpful information. So you obviously want to encourage people not just to attend your classes, but to you have a heart for people to live healthy, don't you? And I just think that's wonderful.
I just think that we've heard so many messages. I've lived long enough to hear lots of messages, and I know that you have heard those saying, you know, fat free, or you've got to do this kind of workout, or, you know, you really nailed it. You said to what's best for us. We think we hear somebody say, oh, my friend goes to CrossFit, and I should do that. Do you like that kind of, you know, like that's what I say, just because they go there doesn't mean that's your thing.
Yeah.
And for a long time, I even went back and forth with, I have a boot camp business, and people say to me, is that like this? Or is that like, nope, it's not like anything else. You know, that's what I really, now I can say that, where I felt like I had to always be at this point, but some kind of shift has happened with me, and I'm saying, no, it's just really meeting people where they are. So, you know, let's say that 5 people come to take my boot camp class. I got 5 different people, all different backgrounds and abilities and fitness levels. So a good coach says, okay, we're getting ready to do jumping jacks. Here's level 1, and you are moving your arms and you're just tapping a foot out to the side, tapping a foot out to the side. You might add a little hop if you're level 2. Level 3, let's go on out to a regular old jumping jack like we did in PE in 3rd grade. And so that's what I strive, what I've always done in my fitness classes. But, you know, there's always levels. And you might be that all-out level and you can go all out. But some days you might not have gotten sleep the night before. And you might be kind of like taking it at a level 1 or level 2. And what I say to that is, good job for moving your body. On those days you feel great, let's go on and take it up a notch. So it's honoring where you are.
I think we feel too guilty too often for what we don't do or don't do enough of, and we just need to do the best we can each and every day.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And you touched on it being fun, and I just think that, you know, even adults like fun games. You talked about equipment. We're not currently using equipment, but I mean, just something to say, you know, we throw in, like, what was your favorite cartoon when you were a kid, just to get to know people better, just fun things to keep people engaged, and fun exercises too. So we're not too old to have fun. And I think that that's what happens, is that we make things so serious, and we think it has to be all about push-ups and, you know, sit-ups. And yeah, it's good to move your body that way, but have some fun along. I've seen that there's people doing ballroom dancing in Bowling Green. I am dying to go to that.
Yes.
Great movement. It's not, it doesn't have to be that kind of what you think of as a typical workout. So yeah, boot camp is just, I think it's just wonderful. It's a phenomenal community. We try to keep people moving in a variety of ways. The social component does make it really special. Whether it's boot camp for your people that are listening or something else, I just think just movement period matters.
Well, I appreciate your time. I don't want to take too much of it. I know that you probably have other classes and other things to plan today. So,
well, really this is my favorite thing to do. I just love. I don't have all the answers, but I've lived long enough to find ways for health to be part of my lifestyle, and I think that's the best gift too. I do want to, if we're wrapping up, I do want to say that, like, you know, when we can say to our kids, no, we're not going to go through that drive-through because I know that I love you too much to give you that. I want, you know, to make sure that what I'm putting in your body, no, I love you too much to just let you stay in your video game all day. It's so when we can just really look at I don't want my kids to have to be spending their time in doctor's offices. So what can we do to take care of, to be responsible for these vessels that God's given us, to serve other people well, to live well for ourselves. So that's movement. That's, you know, it's really outside time. As crazy as that, we've been told to stay in. You can stay in at your own house, but go out around your home and just go for a walk, pull some weeds, whatever. It all counts.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways we can hit several things at once.
Right. Yep.
Well, thank you. I'm going to put up your website information. Is there anything else that you'd like us to do to make sure we can find you?
Sure. I think that following along, my website is pretty much, I'm very hands off with that because I have somebody that just makes sure that people can register for boot camp on that. But it's not a place that I put a lot of content. And really where the content is with boot camp is in for boot campers. So I post things on social media. So Facebook and Instagram, Bowling Green Backyard Boot Camp. It would be a great place to follow along. But once you're a boot camper, we have a private Facebook group, and they get weekly challenges. This week it's to add protein in with each meal. Last week it was to take the stairs. And so just little things to keep them just trying different things, doing different things. So, but yeah, definitely check out the website for registration, and then Facebook and Instagram would be great places to go just to see what we're about. Today I shared a picture. We went downtown, wore Santa hats on Saturday, and so you'll see a picture of that.
Great.
So yeah, follow along on Facebook and Instagram.
All right. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much. It was great talking to you.
Good to talk to you too.
Okay.
And I'll talk with you soon, okay?
All right. Merry Christmas.
That was an awesome interview with Allison Millet. Thank you, Allison. Again, I appreciate your time. And if you would like to find out more about Allison Millet and her Bowling Green Backyard Bootcamp, please go to www.bgbackyardbootcamp.com and look there for information about her coaches, her fitness routine, her classes, her schedule. You can register there, as well as shop for items that might help you make it through the week with a little bit more energy. So check it all out. And if you enjoyed this interview, please comment and share or like. Thank you so much.